Hi there. My name is Bailey Lucky, and I am going to be presenting about the social skills sessions I was able to do within my school. Just to begin, I'll talk a little bit about my participants. My two participants were Kipton, he goes by Kip, and Tristan, his younger brother, he goes by Tristan. These are two young men who I am currently seeing as a speech language pathologist for difficulty in their speech sound productions. So both Kipton and Tristan will frequently utilize a different sound for the sound. I know that's a little bit of a tangent, kind of not related, but I'll tie it back around. So my original selection of these targets and these skills that I wanted to do within social skills instruction stemmed from our course material, in addition to a conversation that I was able to have with Kip and Tristan's mother. It seems that recently Kip and Tristan have both been experiencing a little bit of frustration and some negative emotions as a result of conflict between the two brothers. And of course, we were conversing about this, and a lot of it did seem to be as far as like brothers fighting. But where I saw a need was in her discussion with me about how when they were upset and she asked them to discuss what was going on because she wasn't there for an argument or something like that, or teasing or bullying that had gone on, they were missing some of that higher level vocabulary that we need in order to express how we're feeling and provide a explanation in order to resolve the conflict. So it did at the time seem a little bit higher level. I was like, wow, I mean, they're in the 3rd and 4th grade. I mean, as an adult, I sometimes struggle to describe how I'm feeling. And in that thought process, I came up with a visual resource that I use as an adult and kind of adapted it back down to Kip and Tristan's level. But I also wanted to target their ability to self-advocate and be able to independently problem solve by looking up things that they were unfamiliar with. So instead of just saying, I don't know, and giving up, we could look it up on the iPads as we did in the sessions, or we could ask peers. We did that in the sessions too, because unfortunately Tristan got his iPad taken away for not staying on task. We'll get to that in behavior classes, right? But in that, I kind of wanted to also introduce problem-solving skills as well as executive functioning. And as far as the sessions themselves, while reflecting upon those, I think that they went very well. Honestly, had lower expectations for how they did go because of Tristan and Kip's relationship and also their attention span. I did not know if it would last 10 to 15 minutes, but I was very impressed with both of them. They worked for a Sprite. That was what they wanted to work for, like the soda. And they definitely earned it after all 3 of our sessions that week. In the process, what I realized was that it was a little bit challenging to target all of those things that I had imagined in the original plan. So, once we had an understanding of the feelings wheel, it was a little bit hard to transition to things that I don't know I can look up. It seemed like 2 very separate concepts. But by the end of our sessions, we got into a fluidity and were able to combine both of those skill sets. Another part of the social skills presentations I wanted to reflect upon was the positive feedback that I received from their mother. And I promise I don't mean to like toot my own horn or anything like that. But I was told that, after our sessions, which I had been doing for almost a selfish need, to perform in this class, I realized that even I realized the value of a social skills lesson. And we, as speech language pathologists, incorporate social skills most of the time, but rarely, especially in the school environment, do we ever get to specifically target social skills. A lot of times it's done by resource teachers or other professionals that are in this class. And I get a little bit jealous. I'm like, dang, that would be nice. I'd love to do that. So through this opportunity, I got to do so, and I was able to gain substance almost with that, because Kip and Tristan's mom let me know that she had been seeing improvement in the boys, and it was unprompted. I hadn't asked her, how it was going or anything like that, because I didn't want her to know I was like pulling them out of class time. So I was like, didn't initiate it, and she let me know that they brought, we have feelings wheels in the videos, and they had brought those home, and she had made copies of it. So there was one in their room and there was one in the family kitchen. And they had been referencing that wheel in their conflicts. And she had been seeing a lot more regulation out of that. So we start to breach into a couple areas of behavior, which I thought was neat too. But it's almost a platform that ties in to, not a platform, but almost an umbrella that kind of reaches down towards all different areas of speech language pathology, behavior, special education, general education. And I hadn't really grasped the breadth of this just yet. So I was very grateful to be able to do this project, to be able to talk with Kip and Tristan about something that I'm not sure that they would have gotten until they were, pre-teenager age acquisition of that vocabulary. So I think some of the things that I could have improved upon was definitely a couple behavior management things that they got a little wild from time to time. Nothing unmanageable, but I could have been more efficient with that. And I also, in continuation of the project, would like to implement a similar lesson with kids who have challenging behaviors due to a possible lack in being able to describe their feelings and emotions. But I do think maybe the feelings wheel and then the structure of the lessons and the lesson plans could be applicable with children who have either significant disabilities or significant behaviors that prevent them from emotionally regulating. So that is my reflection, and